welcome to the Wise Take DFS Podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I'm joined by one of my Wise Take OGs. We got Patio Joe. You can find him on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. Joe, of course, writes our straight cash homie articles for both the NFL and MLB. Patio Joe, finally back from Vegas, man. Certainly missed him while he was gone. It's a certain presence that Patio Joe brings with him. So when the nation goes a while without Patio Joe, that's why it was so imperative that you gave us those periscopes, just so people can feel like Joe is still around. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I know. I wish there's some things I could have periscoped too.
Some things that you're probably better off not.
Yeah, better not. Yeah, there's not, especially at 3:00. There's nothing you could possibly be doing at 3:00 that's any good. I love what Chris Rock's like. Chris Rock's a comedy routine. He's like, there should be somebody like inside the ATM machine at 3:00 in the morning when you go in for money. There should be like, come on, man, don't do it. It's not worth it, because there's nothing good. If you're getting money out at 3 a.m., there's nothing good that's happening.
No. Unless you're just like ridiculously impulsive, in which case.
Right here. Checkmate. Sometimes.
Oh man, no, but you're right though. If you're going at the ATM at 3 in the morning, it's not for anything good. Like what good could it possibly be?
Well, I mean, there's pleasure. I don't know. It's good pleasure.
I guess it's all perception at that point. What do you view as good? What do you view as not good?
Yeah.
I guess that's up to.
I guess whatever you can rationalize.
Yeah, whatever you can rationalize. I'll go with that. I like that answer. So anyway, bro, you had the you were down there. It was obviously a lot of fun, but it was a little bit of business too. You know, you had the fantasy football championship draft down there. So that was a pretty cool experience. My understanding is that you drafted 10th out of 12 in your division.
Yeah.
And so tell us about your experience out there, man. How was it? It's got to be like something different from it's a whole different level of season long fantasy.
Oh yeah, I mean you got your guys there that are just sitting there, and we're all sitting around a table, and we're at this suite, and there's food, and it's pretty quiet and everything. And then you got your typical the guy that makes a comment after every pick, and then you got the guy that takes like almost all the whole time to make his pick, and then every time it's just a terrible pick. But yeah, it was nice. It was good to meet some people. I met Dr. Roto. If any of you listen to Sirius XM Radio on Scout Fantasy. Dr. Roto, he's one of the first people I listened to when I started listening to Sirius Fantasy Radio. So it was cool to meet him, and Adam Ronis was there too. So some good people, and I met Scott Atkins, who's one of the executives at Scout Fantasy, and he brought me around. He showed me the suites. A couple of the suites were really, really nice. It was a decent atmosphere. You know what it was the Palms Hotel used to be like the spot. It was off the strip. Remember they did the Real World there and everything, and you went there now and you were like, what happened? Like it just like the strip upped its game. I mean, you go down the strip and you feel like you're in like a futuristic city at this point. And it's just you go down the Palms and it just is like, no, I mean it's nice, but it's just not what it used to be. So, but I got to stay at, as you saw in the Periscope, one of the nicest hotels you could stay at on the Strip, overlooking the Strip, and we, it was a suite, and it was just, it was a spot. Yeah,
Yo, I was dying when you were showing us the bathrooms, and obviously, like I know Paulie was trying to go with you, and things didn't work out. He didn't get to make it down, but when you got to the bathroom and the dual showers, bro. And then you're saying, like, probably jealous.
Like, literally, I can now divide my life into 2 times. Before dual showers and after dual showers. It's like getting a threesome with water. It's just like, oh, my God, it's so nice. You know what I mean?
But it was the implication. It was like the implication of, like, Paulie, You could be with me.
You could be here right now.
We could simultaneously shower right now.
Instead, you're getting pissed on in another way. So, literally.
Oh man, Yeah. And Paulie doesn't have power. Hopefully he'll get power in a couple days. But he does have cell service. The guy, he's okay. Him and got Josh. Josh wrote his article today. He doesn't have power, but he figured out a way to get his article. That's devotion right there.
Yeah, and apparently Paulie's got his cargo jersey on right now, saying "Hey yo" with a sign. Hey yo, play cargo.
Oh man, yeah, I was on cargo today, man. He's killing me. I took a shot, man, in one of my tournaments, and like I'm still kind of in. Like I have a shot to at least cash if the Rockies can get it together. The bullpen's in there, so or maybe the bullpen's not in there actually. I could be looking at the wrong team. No, the bullpen's in there, so we'll see. I might have maybe I have a shot at an extras or something, but not looking too good for your boy.
No, I need hit by JD Martinez or Adam Rosales, and maybe I can cash in this one tournament. So, but besides that,
the scoring's pretty.
And then football doesn't seem to be going all right. I mean, it's you got to be almost perfect, and it's it's hard to, you can't screw up on these. Here goes Emmanuel Sanders. Oh boy. Anyways, as we're watching the Monday night game.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like you said, man, we got a pretty big slate to get to, man. So let's go ahead and let's knock this out, man.
Let's do it.
First game, we got Dylan Peters, a lefty from the Marlins, visiting Nick Pivetta of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I think this is a guy, Dylan Peters, you want to look at tomorrow for a GPP option. He's going against a team that I think that he can shut down. He's a rookie. This is the first time I think that they've seen him. So I like Peters tomorrow. On the other side, Pivetta, he has reverse split, so Stanton has got to definitely be in play tomorrow. Ozuna, throw in Yelich if you want to. Justin Bour happens to be back finally, believe it or not. And also maybe some Real Muto. I kind of like the Marlins a little bit as a stack. And on the other side, I like Peters as a GPP option.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely with you. I'm digging the Marlins bats. Just Pivetta hasn't really been good at all. He had a few starts when he first started out. He had a couple pretty good games, and then just never really turned out to be much. So I'm all for it. He gives up a lot of hard contact to right-handed hitting as well. So Stanton, Ozuna, as the guys you mentioned. Bour being back is pretty big for this team. That's a pretty big bat. He happened to have been having a good year before those injuries came up. And Peters, man, I think people rolled with Peters last time. I don't know if it was Cuse or somebody, but somebody was big. Maybe it wasn't Cuse, but somebody was big on Peters, and he got bombed. He didn't do very well. So I think that people, will kind of skip over him. But this guy is a prospect. He's supposed to be decent as far as I know, right? Dylan Peters, he's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's the Phillies, and I will say if you're not playing them, Hoskins and Nick Williams, especially Hoskins, man, that dude has just been, he's been pretty hot.
He got a good future,
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, especially like they got Nola and those guys. But that's the thing, though. It's like they're not getting any younger, so it's like eventually they got to start making those moves. Like Franco, that dude needs to go. Like I just don't think he's not.
I don't think it's gonna happen. This was
so.
His year to really do it. You're right.
Yeah, I just don't think he's whatever they were hoping he was gonna be.
Yeah.
But some of these other guys, man, yeah, like you mentioned, man, even Galvis. I think Galvis, if he was on a competitive team, I think we'd see like a little more from him. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that helps. Anyway, your boy Julio Teheran of the Atlanta Braves visiting Gio Gonzalez of the Washington Nationals.
Lefties. I wish Harper was playing. Because Harper has like 1,700 home runs against him.
1,700.
Daniel Murphy I like tomorrow. The thing is that there's not a lot of lefties right now in that lineup for the Nats. So is Teheran in play? You have to ask yourself that. How much cojones do you want to have tomorrow? On the other side, you got vanilla. You got vanilla ice cream at 9,000. And you know what? Sometimes vanilla ice cream will get it done. I think he's a little bit too expensive on a DK to use as a second pitcher option because there's top two options tomorrow that you're going to want. So, yeah, I'm fading the Braves hitters. Maybe, and Gio doesn't have the upside in tomorrow in tournaments. So I'm pretty much fading this game. Maybe Daniel Murphy is a one-off.
Yeah, man. One guy that I wouldn't mind is maybe like a guy like Trey Turner, like a mini stack with Turner and Murphy, because I know that we want the lefties against Tehran, but Turner has actually got reverse splits against righties, and so if he gets on, we're looking at a potential stolen base there, and then Daniel Murphy, like you said, could do the rest from the left side of the plate. Daniel Murphy looks like he's got a 4.53 lifetime WOBA against. This guy's got 1 home run, 5 doubles. So that's what I'm saying, man. Trey Turner gets on, steal the base. Daniel Murphy double. Boom. I'm with that. And yeah, Gio, man, it's vanilla. And listen, I'm gonna be completely honest. My favorite ice cream is vanilla. I could just dude, I'll eat vanilla ice cream. That's it. I don't need I like toppings and shit. You could add in there, but like my favorite actual ice cream is vanilla. Yeah. And I don't like Gio. I just don't, man. I don't. I play him when I have to. He plays better at home, but the Braves aren't really striking out a ton. Matt Kemp's been hitting better. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't like it. Dylan Bundy of the Baltimore Orioles visiting Joe Biagini of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Biagini, hinna, 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 hinna. Dylan Bundy is another person you got to be looking at for GPPs tomorrow. I think he has the upside. He's shown it that he can put up 50 to 70. He put up 73 2 starts ago against the Mariners, but then he came back and got destroyed against the Yankees. So that is going to lead people off of him, especially with the options tomorrow. So Bundy might be an option to look at tomorrow. On the other side, Biagini can get lit up like Christmas, and so I would be looking tomorrow at his splits, what he gets hit on, what pitches he likes to throw, and who hits him best. But he actually pitched at Baltimore September 1st, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 55 points against the same team. Now he's facing them in Toronto, so we'll see how he fares. But I mean, if I was a betting man, I would not bet that, So that's what I got.
Yeah, man, definitely. There was like maybe a couple starts ago where me and somebody else were talking about Biagini and how he's probably a decent play. He got bombed. He just got completely bombed. And then, of course, the next time he went out, it might have been this one against Baltimore, and he pitched extremely well, had a phenomenal game, or maybe it was against the Red Sox, something like that. So it's a possibility, it is. That's definitely getting a little more on the wild side. But I'm with you on Bundy for sure. I think that's definitely a reality. Like, this dude's been pitching phenomenal, and we know Bundy's been working on his pitches. Like he did say that he changed a little something in his mechanics, and he's throwing some more of his breaking balls and all that stuff. And we know that Toronto can struggle a little bit with sliders, things like that. So man, I think Bundy's definitely a play. Matt Boyd of the Detroit Tigers visiting Corey Kluber of the Cleveland Indians, minus 420. That's the line.
That being said, play Kluber in cash tomorrow. Kluber is your man, even over Kershaw, and strictly on the fact of he's playing on the hottest team in baseball, and they won again tonight, right?
Yeah, they did, man.
Yeah, they killed them. Yeah,
they did.
So then you got Kluber going against Matt Boyd. You try and get any type of share of this offense tomorrow. Lindor, Austin Jackson, Jose Ramirez, E5, Santana, Diaz, Geyer, Gomes. I mean, they're all in play tomorrow. Boyd is terrible. Their bullpen's terrible. They've been overworked. The Indians are going to be the biggest chalk tomorrow for sure. Kluber's going to be the biggest chalk tomorrow. I don't think you can fade him in cash, even with Kershaw. And Boyd is just terrible. So stack the Indians hitters. It's just that easy. I don't see, how you can't.
Yeah, the Indians have been the chalk, and they've been the chalk that will win you the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They've just been the chalk that will just win you the money. And so I don't see myself getting off of them either. Guys like Lindor, love Austin Jackson, especially against lefties. E5 always in play. He doesn't have the best BVP against Boyd, but it's Boyd, and E5 matches lefties, and eventually you're going to get the Tigers bullpen anyway. Boyd never really goes deep into games. And like you said, man, Kluber is just any Indians pitcher. If they're on the Indians, you pretty much just play them in cash at this point. It's just kind of how it's been, man. Reliable, is what they become. It definitely feels like their year. It definitely does. I got to give them that.
Yeah, well, they said that about the Dodgers 6 weeks ago, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's
you know
true.
What I mean?
That's true. Then the Dodgers started sucking, but the Dodgers.
Yeah, so we'll see.
It's like you got to go tit for tat. Now the Dodgers they have to win out the rest of the year. They can't lose anymore.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's Cleveland's here now.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray of the New York Yankees visiting Blake Snell of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the games that I don't really want to look at Snell. I think that the Yankees can get to him tomorrow, but I'm not going to really attack them with some of these Yankees. Judge and Sanchez are too expensive tomorrow with other guys on the board. Maybe somebody like Starlin Castro looks like a decent price. Sonny Gray on the other side, I think he can get lit up by the lefties: Morrison, Dickerson, Duda, Kiermaier. So if you want a Ray stack, I think a Ray stack would be sneaky. They think Gray's going to do great tomorrow, but I don't think he has much upside. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, man. I think I think what you said makes a lot of sense. It's Sonny Gray's been pitching better. The game's going to be in Citi Field again, right? I forgot about that earlier. We were talking about it. So yeah, the game's going to be in Citi. Still a pitching atmosphere, but Blake Snell isn't actually home. So I think in the end, obviously the Rays are really the ones that lose out because number one, it's also basically a home game for the Yankees, which we saw. It's in New York, so the Yankee fans are there in abundance, and so. I'm with you on the Yankees. I wasn't too big on them today, and that didn't work out too well. So I'm big on them. Honestly, it worked out fine. Todd Frazier had a home run, and they had some dink and dunks. You really didn't need them all that much, but they did put up some runs. I had CC today, man. I went with CC. I played obviously Carrasco also, but I played CC in one of my other lineups, and he was doing fine. And he only had 90 pitches, and I thought they would at least get through the fifth. And Longoria was up with runner on first and second with 1 out, and they pulled him in the fourth. Fourth inning with 1 out. He's got a 5-1 lead, and they pulled him. I was like, damn, man, they're really trying to win. And that sucked. But yeah, man, I'm with you. Yankees certainly in play. I don't mind some of these Rays, like Kiermaier, some of these guys, man. I want to see what Sonny Gray can do in this situation because he's had his spots. The Rays strike out a ton, so we do got to consider him. Gray has shown us the K upside, so we have to consider him. But now it's like you're going to get Lomo, Sedic, Souza, all these guys. Kiermaier. So Sean Manaea of the Oakland Athletics visiting Eduardo Rodriguez of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these Red Sox tomorrow, especially the ones that hit lefties well, because Manaea has been just getting lit up some parts of this year. So guys like Pedroia, Nunez, Betts, Bogarts, I like them. They're all fairly cheap, except for Betts. For some reason, the guy never hits home runs, but he's still 4,300. It's amazing. Hanley is not a bad. Chris Young, 2-2, batting 8th. That's good. It's a good way. And I think you can get them fairly low owned tomorrow. And on the other side, Matt Olson is hot, even though he's lefty. You can still play him against a lefty. He's been double-digit points almost the last 2 weeks. Just so smoking hot in September so far. And yeah, nobody else really interests me. Maybe Crush or Healy against Rodriguez because they both can hit lefties all right. But I'm going other places.
Yeah, I think the A's could be sneaky here for sure. At the same time, Eduardo has the K upside. If we just haven't seen him get it together, but we know that he's capable of it, and we know that the A's are capable of striking out a ton against lefties. But lately, they've been a lot better against lefties. So I do think the A's can be impressive. I wonder if Gautzab would have interest in them here. Gautzab seems to always like the A's, and he has success with them. So definitely want to check in the Wise Take chat with Gautzab tomorrow and see what he thinks because. They did get rid of Roger Davis, who was just mashing lefties, and now he's going to be on the other. Wait, is he going to?
They don't have him starting, so
that's interesting.
I do like him.
Yeah, if he plays, that could be pretty good. Little revenge spot. Not that I believe it in baseball, but it's
Mm-hmm.
more so against Mania, a bad lefty. And Mania is not a bad lefty, but lately, since coming back from injury, he has been. He's been on top of some of the worst WOBA numbers, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's been pretty bad. But I love the Red Sox bats, and I don't know, man. Erod, I think in cash, a lot of people might go there as an SP2 because he's 7-4,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he does have a relatively decent floor for cash, considering the strikeouts are going to be there. It's just a matter of eventually he might get bombed a little bit, but the strikeouts will be there. It's Mania, so his team should win, so I think it's fine. Garrett Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates visiting Brent Suter of the Milwaukee Brewers, those same Milwaukee Brewers that shit on everybody today.
Yeah. Let's not get that started. Anyways, Garrett Cole, so maybe lefties here against him. Maybe a guy like Vogt or Shaw. He's coming off a good game where we were on him last week, if you remember that. Everybody seemed to like him. On the other side, we got Brett Suter. So you got these righties that you're going to want from Pittsburgh: Marte, Morov, McCutchen. There might be good little options, but besides that, cross this game off. Just go somewhere else.
Yeah, spoken like a guy that's a little pissed. Like myself, they screwed me too in one lineup. But Joe, as you were talking, I was touting him on the show today, and everybody looked at me like I had two heads. Nolan Arenado just hit a 3-run home run.
Oh,
and put me in the money.
yes.
I'm digging it. Put me in 22nd place here.
Yes.
I'm with that. It feels good. It feels good. I still have Reynolds and Carlos Gonzalez, but Arenado, I am grateful. Anyway, yeah, Garrett Cole's a guy that I think we prefer at home. I don't necessarily want him in small ballparks, but Eric Thames and some of these guys. As a matter of fact, I feel like
2-1.
What's that?
Stephen Vogt at 2.1.
Oh yeah, that's a great price. Let's see. I wanted to see. Okay, no, Thames is 0 for 9, but Neil Walker is actually 8 for 4 with a home run. Oh, he usually does good against the Pirates, actually.
Yeah.
Right, because he played there for a long time and he loved it there. And then, like, when he was on the Mets, he played phenomenally anytime he played against the Pirates. So, Neil Walker's definitely a tournament option for sure.
Wasn't against Greinke, though, that home run.
No. It was not against Greinke. No, Greinke had a very good game. He pitched phenomenally. That was definitely a great take. He pitched well. But he's not going to get the win. That lineup, dude, that's the lineup with CC. I got 28 FanDuel points from CC. He was 4.7%. I played Jose Ramirez, who was 50%, dude. 50%.
Yeah, he was.
And, that's an example of the chalk hitting. And Lindor, too. Lindor was chalk. Well, he wasn't as chalky because he was expensive at shortstop. But, yeah, Arenado, 1.2%. I had the Shields. He was only 6%. I was surprised there. But, that's it, man. Even without, Carrasco, I guess it was you had to have certain key guys. You had to have certain bats because the scoring isn't happening anymore. We're not seeing these ridiculous there's 4 third basemen that all did well. It comes down to, a few guys. And if you don't have them, it's it gets tough. And so, I just wanted to make that point. But, anyway. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I really like this game too much. Maybe Vogue, great value. Maybe he'll be in Cash in Joe's Cash Game article.
Maybe.
We'll see. Marco Gonzalez, the lefty from the Seattle Mariners, visiting Miguel Gonzalez of the Texas Rangers.
No relation. None.
Are you sure?
Right. They even spell them different.
That's true. One has a
One's
Z,
with
one
an
has
S.
an S.
Wow. So they're pissed off at each other. The battle of the Gonzalez.
The S versus the Z.
S versus the Z.
Gonzalez
The Gonzalez is. So Marco. I think that righties, DeShields, Andrus, Gomez, Napoli, Chirinos. Even if you want to throw in a lefty in the stack, go with Gallo or Mazzara. Napoli. Maybe he'll play again. I don't know. Maybe you profile well. Maybe he'll play. Who knows? Think that, idiot? Anyways, and then Miguel Gonzalez is another guy that he hasn't gotten blown up lately. He used to. And, it just didn't happen. So I think that you can maybe one-offs here and there with the Mariners, but try and find someone else. I mean, this game is really scheduled to shoot out too, so maybe look at it a little bit more after looking again.
Yeah, no, I think we could. This will probably be a pretty popular option. Like there's runs to be had in this ballpark still. It's still 81 degrees out there in Texas, which is cooler. Which it is a little cooler, but it's still warmer than everywhere else right now. So I think we want to stick with that trend. We got a couple poor bullpens here. So one thing about today is Miranda went, and a lot of the lefties from Texas are actually the ones who went off. So I think that's something that it happens from time to time. Like Chu had a big game, Mazzara had a big game, and some of the lefties that a lot of people didn't play. So this could be a situation where I think the Shields the Shields will be popular. He hit a home run today. Nobody played him, and he's been red hot. People are going to go right back to that well. Andrus is a guy that might get some attention. I think Andrus is in a good spot. Actually, I think he could be a good pivot tomorrow from Lindor maybe, because I do think Lindor. I mean, how do you not play like Lindor the way that guy's been playing? So I think that he could be a good pivot option. But yeah, the bats in this game are definitely where I want to go. Yonder Alonso is a pretty good price on FanDuel. Don't even mind Segura, man, against righties. He does better against righties, so keep that in mind. Robert Gisellman of my New York Mets visiting Jose Quintana of the Chicago Cubs. Looks like the wind will be blowing in from about left center, about 10 miles per hour.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want any part of this game then. If it's not, I think maybe you could go with some lefties of the Cubs, but everything else I don't really want. I don't think there's much upside for cash. There's other options. For GPP, I think there's other options.
Yeah, I think I might have some interest in Quintana a little bit here. Not like a ton, but a little bit. And the reason I say not a ton is because especially against lefties, like these Mets have been different. Like I said the same thing when I was talking about Amir Garrett, and that didn't go too well. Although he didn't do terrible, eventually it fell apart. These younger Mets, like Darno, hits lefties better. This guy Travis, I don't know who this guy is, but he hit a home run last time I mentioned his name. He hits lefties better. Ahmed Rosario.
Tyron.
I don't know.
I don't even know what his name is. Travis, whatever.
His name is Travis, bro. I'm not even going to try to say that.
What happened to Wilmer Flores? Did he get hurt?
Oh, they shut him down, man. He had a foul ball off his face, and then they shut him down for the rest of the year.
Attaboy.
So, you got Jose Reyes, Juan Lagares. Lagares hits lefties better. Reyes has just been hitting everybody lately. I don't know what's gotten into him. So, I have some interest in Quintana. But that's the one thing that I'll say about these new-look Mets. They've been striking out a ton. But they're not, like, in the beginning of the year, it was like play lefties against the Mets or at least avoid the Mets against lefties. It's not so much the case. But I still think Quintana's in play because, one, the strikeout should be there regardless. And, two, the wind's blowing in 10 miles an hour. So I think that takes away. It's not like any one of these guys has, like, super mega power. Right, there's no Cespedes playing. There's no Jay Bruce. None of these guys that have that power. Conforto. So I could go there, and maybe some of these Cubs. But I think you're right. I don't know if the Cubs with the wind blowing in. If that wind changes, sure, I'll go after Gisellman. But there's other spots, like you said.
Yeah.
Travis Wood of the San Diego Padres visiting Kyle Gibson of the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, here's another game I think you want to think about maybe stacking, or at least going the Twins. I think you can. I like the Twins tomorrow. Dozier, Polanco, Buxton, Escobar, Grossman, Vargas. Those are all great plays tomorrow. You really got to be looking at jumping on Travis Wood. On the other side, I think if you want to get with a sneaky stack tomorrow, the Padres might offer it. Kyle Gibson can't get lit up, even though he doesn't get totally crushed. But it might be a place to really get off the grid, something different. But I really do like these Twins tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I like the game in general, just like you. I think both sides are in play. Looks like it's going to be about 81 degrees, 49% humidity, so it's actually decent hitting weather compared to some of these other places. Like Chicago is going to be 70 degrees. So, yeah, I think this could be a great spot. This is a good spot, I think, for the Padres, too. Kyle Gibson has been okay, and, like, part of me thinks that you even maybe have to consider him. He hasn't been okay, like, playable, but he's been okay, like, he's not getting, like, trashed as bad as he should be. With that said, I couldn't do it, but I sort of see the merit against the Padres. But I think I'd much rather just play these Padres. I think that just in general, one of the best hitting environments out there. Two mediocre pitchers, if that. Yeah, give me some of these Padres, man. Will Myers has been heating up, that's for sure. Dylan Covey of the Chicago White Sox visiting Sam Gaviglio, your other Italian buddy, from the Kansas City Royals.
Biagini Gaviglio, here we go. The Italians going to pitch tomorrow. So I got Dylan Covey being terrible, and I got Gaviglio being almost as terrible. Jose Abreu almost has a cycle for 2 days in a row, so that would make me believe that he is a hot hitter. Something would let me believe that, so maybe play him. And on the other side, I think, look at what Covey does tomorrow and attack him with these Royals.
Yeah, man, the White Sox, I was saying on the Y stream today, like with I was talking about Yomar Sanchez, and Machada's the one that had the bigger game, but still, I was saying that the White Sox in general, they've been red hot. And so my concern was, would that carry over to the new ballpark? Because they were on a big homestand when they heated up. And sometimes, like, as soon as that changes, like, you see these hot teams fly out. And it seems to me like maybe it's going to keep going, and people still don't feel comfortable playing these guys. So, listen, man, I don't want to seem like I'm picking on the Italians here. I don't
it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're good.
The wrong way,
We're good.
Yeah, I think we should pick on the Italians here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think I want to go back to the White Sox a little bit, even with a guy like Covey, man.
Let's get those bloody eye ties.
So, yeah, I think this is another spot for the Bats. And the Royals, too. Can't forget about the Royals. They're in play. Love that dude, Brandon Moss, man. I never really take him 2 days in a row because he's not really the hot, cold kind of guy. He's more just a huge game out of nowhere type guy. Like, every 6-7 games, he hits a fucking massive game. Here we go. My son, Robert Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds, visiting Lance Lynn of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Robert Campbell. Sounds so good. Robert Campbell. I actually, when I see him, I call him Bobby. He goes, he says, Uncle Joey. I'm, hey, Bobby. I think that this game, Stevenson's going to pitch. He came in for Castillo. This is supposed to be Castillo's spot, but they shut him down for the rest of the year. So I think that tomorrow you got to look at this game. It could be interesting. It might have a little bit of weather, but I think it's going to be okay. Some of the Cardinals might be in play. Sorry, Chris. I mean, I think he could get lit up, and I think some of these Reds might be in play too.
Yeah, man, I'm a little surprised that the Reds are only projected for 7.2 runs. I'm gonna just assume that the weather has a lot to do with that because Lance Lynn hasn't been all that great. So I feel like that's a lot of respect for Lance Lynn. Scott Schebler has 2 home runs against Lynn and 4 at bats. He's 3 for 4 also. Joey Votto has a 5.44 career WOBA against Lance Lynn. He's 4.64 average. Only 1 home run, but 2 doubles, 13 hits. He's 13 for 28. Even Scooter, another Wise Take favorite.
Scooter.
2 doubles. He's 8 for 28 against Lynn. Yes. So I'm a little surprised that he's such a big favorite. I know the Reds haven't been swinging the bats very well, but and the weather's bad. So, like, don't get me wrong, I get it. But some of these guys are playable. I guess if you want to throw Lynn out there, I wouldn't do it. It looks like there could be some light rain. 66 degrees. It's great pitching weather, 66 degrees. But it's one of those, like, I'm looking at this and I don't think, like Stevenson is 7-2 now on FanDuel. That's kind of crazy. That's yes. Like, that takes all the appeal away from him. So this more seems like you can consider these pitchers if you want to take a shot with that weather. I think that in general, like the weather at being at 66 degrees, that makes this park much more of a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So, but either way, to me, it's kind of a stay-away situation. Maybe some of these Reds, if I see the line move, I might have some interest in some of these, like Schebler, Scooter, Jeanette, Votto, just those 3 specifically. But yeah, man, that game doesn't really do much for me. John Gray of the Colorado Rockies visiting Taijuan Walker of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I think this is a spot where you can consider it's tough. I think you can go either way. If you want to go Gray as a GPP option, you could do it. I think it's okay. It's not great, but he does offer some upside to strike out some guys. Then if you wanted to attack him with some of these D-backs hitters, I wouldn't go against that either. I mean, Jake Lamb's 3.1. J.D. Martinez is probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now. Taijuan Walker on the other side, guy gets his fastball lit up. So Cargo, Arenado, Parra, Blackman, LeMahieu, all them. I think you can play them.
I agree. I love Carlos Gonzalez again, man. That was the name of the podcast, and he's not really doing much. So, he didn't do all that well. Looks like he got 6 points or something, like 6.2 points. But listen, man, the guy has still been red hot. This is probably the second day that he's got 6 points only. The rest of his scores this month have been double digits, and I'm all about playing the guys that are on fire. So, give me Carlos Gonzalez. I'll take Arenado. I don't think he was in that BVP pack, but still, he's just been red hot. I'll take Mark Reynolds, even a guy who hasn't been red hot, because he is 4 for 10 against Taijuan Walker with 2 home runs. Mark Reynolds is one of those guys that are sneakily hits righties well. Sneakily. You like that word, right? That's from CK, the CK dictionary.
Yes.
Sneakily. It's a very wise, wise statement. But yeah, man. Sneakily. Yeah. Sneakily, I think you're making fun of me. I'm just kidding.
Sneakily.
But yeah, seriously.
Sneakily, I think we have a title of the podcast. Sneakily.
And then it's going to just show up, and I'm going to get notifications that the spell check is off or something.
Yeah, I know.
Is that it? But JD Martinez, red hot. I'm with that too. Yeah, I like the bats here. I mean, listen, like you said, Gray's, you can consider him a tournament. He's got the K upside. He can do it. But, we haven't seen the greatest year from him. Oof. In between injuries. Justin Verlander of the Houston Astros visiting Garrett Richards of the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah, if Richards was hurt or was healthy, I think this would be a good option. But I like
big butts and you cannot lie.
I like some of these Astros tomorrow, and I think Verlander might be a sneaky GPP option because people aren't going to go there at all. They're going to pay up for other things, and I think that he's going to go overlooked. But the Angels don't strike out that much, so maybe you're off of them. Maybe this game in general. Yeah,
maybe some interest in Houston, just because, like you said, Garrett hasn't pitched all that much, so I'd be curious, but the total here is pretty low. For a while, I was having fun playing these Angels and just teams in this ballpark, but it was warm and it was humid. It looks like it might still be humid, but it's not warm anymore. It's going to be like 72 degrees from what I see, and so that kind of takes away some of the fun there. So I can start to see these, at least the Angels kind of cool down. But like you said, the thing about Verlander we know is that in Detroit they would let him pitch. We don't know that's the case. They're winding down for the playoffs to prepare. We don't know what their approach is with Verlander. And I can't imagine we're going to see Garrett Richards that long anyway, because even if he's not doing terrible, we don't know how long they're going to let him pitch when they're still coming. They're very competitive. So if he doesn't have his A game, they might not let him go very far. I don't know how much they trust him. But yeah, very low total. Got to say that, very low. Clayton Kershaw of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Patio Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers, visiting Johnny Cueto of the San Francisco Giants.
First of all, you got to check tomorrow if these pitchers are going to stay, because the game in San Francisco right now is still delayed. As far as I know, I don't know if they're going to get it in or not. I mean, I don't know. It's 9:45 out here on the West Coast, so I don't know if they're going to play it tonight. If that, they might push them back. I don't know if they're going to push Kershaw back. They need to win really bad, so he'll probably stay. But they might push Cueto back and keep Stratton on. But so keep an eye on that tomorrow. If not, I mean, I think Kershaw has got some really good GPP flavor tomorrow, because everybody thinks that, he got lit up last start. The Dodgers aren't playing well. And, they're facing a team that doesn't really strike out much. So, but, Clayton Kershaw is a GPP option. He's still, the best pitcher in baseball when healthy. So take a look at him. That's all I'm saying. I think as a GPP option, he's definitely viable tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's in play. The question is, how long are they going to let him pitch? He's been on these little baby pitch counts, and I get why. Yeah. He's your most prized possession in LA. But we got to know, as far as the Giants, traditionally, there was always a joke, I think, about the Giants owning Kershaw, and that's not these Giants. Not Yorkis Hernandez. It's not Nick Hundley. It's not Austin Slater. It's not these guys. Nope. So. Yeah, Kershaw's definitely in play. We could see this guy only pitch like he can get 8 innings in with like 8 strikeouts in 75 pitches. Like he could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe not literally, but he could probably go 6 or 7. So that puts him in play because he could rack up those Ks pretty quick. But like you said, because of that limitation, unless we hear that okay, his leash is, if Kershaw's leash is off, this is a great play, I think. But if Kershaw's leash is on, it's only GPPs because we're concerned, and I think in general it kind of limits your upside in general. I think I'd rather just pay down in that sense if I'm not going with Kluber.
Yeah.
But I do think the Dodger bats are in play. Cueto's got to show me something. He's super cheap, and I think that's because he hasn't shown much. So Seager, Bellinger, Granderson, Grandal, Taylor, Turner, all those guys, man. Puig. I like your Dodgers a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy with them, but I wouldn't mind playing a couple of them. People don't like playing in this ballpark. Yeah. But for good reason. So maybe like 1 or 2, you know? Yeah, man, it was good to have you back on the show, man. Definitely.
It was.
It's quiet without you, Joe. Like, listen, we do it. It was fun. The members, we had some good times. But, like, it is quiet without Patio Joe.
I appreciate that.
It definitely is. So before I let you get out of here, bro, you know that our loyal listeners are going to want us to do one of these pick'em things.
Let's do it.
I'm pulling it up as we speak because I wasn't prepared. But I got it up, and it's just like
I am.
So, Corey Kluber, Clayton Kershaw, Gio Gonzalez, Justin Verlander, or Jose Quintana. I'm assuming you want to go with your boy Kluber.
Yeah, I mean, if we're staying chalky, let's go with Kluber and just lock it up.
Yeah.
I think you could go Kershaw.
Yeah, you could. No, I think you could.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray, Dylan Bundy, Garrett Cole, Lance Lynn, Taijuan Walker, John Gray, Blake Snell, Kyle Gibson.
Bundy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on Bundy, and I think that could be a little bit of a nice little differential. Tier 3, we got Charlie Blackmon, Paul Goldschmidt, Trey Turner, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, JD Martinez. Ooh, this is a good tier. Ramirez, who's day-to-day, or Lindor. Man, that's a good tier right there.
Ooh. I'm going to say Stanton.
I'll go with Stanton against Pivetta. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. The only other guy that I was considering, I figured Stanton was like, I was like, if he wants to go Stanton, I'm cool with that. The only other guy I was considering was actually Trey Turner.
Yeah, I looked at him. I thought him or JD. Those are
yeah. Those three, were, in my opinion, are by far. JD's been too hot not to consider. Tier 4, Mike Trout, Jose Altuve, Nolan Arenado, George Springer, Brian Dozier, Betts Machado, and E5.
Dozier.
Yes, I was going to say. There we go. I'm with it. Rhys Hoskins, Freddie Freeman, Joey Votto, Anthony Rizzo, Gary the Goat, Marcelo Zuna, Carlos Santana, Robbie Cano.
Votto.
I'm with it. We'll go with the BVP route against Lynn. I can't stand Lynn, so I'm cool with that. Bellinger, Bryant, Lamb, Murphy, Cruz, Yelich, Benintendi, and Polanco from the Twins.
Polanco.
What were you thinking about Belly for a sec?
No, I had my eyes on the football game, and the Chargers down by 10, and the Broncos just fumbled, and the Chargers got the ball back with 7 minutes to go.
Oh, would they get a field goal? Yeah, they got a field goal.
They got another touchdown. They hit Keenan Allen.
Oh,
so
they did.
It's 24-14, and Charles just fumbled, and the Chargers got the ball back with 7 minutes to go. In Broncos territory. Let me see if it was a fumble or if he's down. Yeah, that's coming out. I think that's coming out. I don't think he's down yet. So that's big. That's what they needed. I like Polanco and Dozier just because you probably have a little stack right there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Tier 7, Correa, Shaw, Rendon, Cozart, Olsen, Smoke, Reddick, Mazzara. That's a shitty tier. Want to go with Olsen?
Yeah, I was thinking going Olsen.
Let's go with Olsen. I like that. He's been hot. And then Elvis Andrus, Will Myers, Paul DeJong, Adam Jones, Starling Marte, Michael Taylor, Lucas Duda, and Byron Buxton.
You could go with the full twin stack and go with Buxton, or I like Andrus.
I would go with Buxton, but apparently on the pick'em you can only have 2 players from one team.
Oh, okay, only 2. Okay,
so Andrus it is.
Yeah,
there you have it. Kluber, Bundy, Stanton, Dozier, Votto, Polanco, Olsen, Andrus. That's your quick first look wise take. A pick'em game with myself and Patio Joe. Play it at your own risk. Something we do for fun. That's all. We're just throwing it out there. We just like to have a little fun. And it's a first look. There's no research behind these picks. We're just going off the top of our head. But anyway, guys, don't forget, sign up for right out the MLB season with us if you'd like. You could buy week passes. They're up on the site. You could find them there. The season ends, I think October 1st is the last game, so just get week passes or day passes, hang out with us during the days. But really, if you're into football, definitely hope that you're signed up for our football package. It's $19.99 a month, or of course you can just pay $74.99 up front and save yourself some money in the long run. But you're definitely going to want to stick with us for the season. Check out some of our football products on the YouTube channel. We have some great football stuff. Patio Joe and I just did a free show earlier, show that we normally do for premium members only, just to give you an idea of what it comes with. Projections, articles. Patio Joe's cash game article was on point, which helped Patio Joe win over $500 you won this week, and that was you going light. So that definitely was a decent night for the nation.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Absolutely. So guys, go ahead, sign up, man. Join us for football. We got basketball coming up.
What did I call my bomb to Benjamin?
Oh,
Benjamin.
Did it happen? The Benjamin call?
Boom,
That's
touchdown.
what you get on the Wise Take Wise Stream. Patio Joe earlier on the free NFL show. Go look it up. Patio Joe's big call today was a touchdown pass to Travis Benjamin. That was his call of the day. Even on a 2-game slate, the contest I played him, he was like 12% owned or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he was 10%.
Forget about it. And he just caught a big pass from Rivers, which obviously, as you can hear, made Patio Joe's night. We have a lot of fun here. It's what we do. Don't waste any time. Come join the team. Use hashtag promo code #HoodyHoo with the hashtag one word HoodyHoo and save yourself 10%. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, click that thumbs up. That like button means a lot to us. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. Bump us up those charts. It means a lot to us. Other than that, for Patio Joe, for myself, and the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.
Peace.
Yeah.